Hey, hello everybody, and welcome back to the League of Dracula. This is a match from Group B between Piratejoe playing as the Hunters and Mettking playing as Dracula. And in the commentary booth with me, I'm joined once again by the legendary Captain Gyro.
Oh,
Hello, Gyro.
you flatter me. Hello again, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this one.
The current Group A leader, by the way.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. By a couple of ideas, yeah.
Well, let's see if this group leader can manage to spectate the right game. Because that was not the right game.
Oh, yikes. Okay. So we're recording this. I was not expecting to be able to record this match. It was set for much later in the night when I'd be tucked up in bed. But the previous match between Piratejoe and Mettking finished early, and Mettking just happened to be spectating, so they started the game. There's newspaper reports already on Mina, so that's guaranteed. None of this waiting for newspaper shenanigans like we have been before. Interesting start with Piratejoe here. He often does a different setup where it's Munich and Milan. I don't know why now he's switching to Vienna. It's very, very interesting. What do you think about it all?
Oh, it's quite the interesting start. Piratejoe's signature stagger of the Hunters. I could take it or leave it. Personally, you can't really get me to not put Godalming in a city with another Hunter. The old Quincy Morris move where they're split up and this kind of chicanery or whatever you want to call it. I just like putting Godalming down with another Hunter so that they can trade. Simple as that. You'll see that if you saw my game against Burke Molly, where on the first night, my very first night action with Mina, I had her trade with Godalming because Godalming's draw was a knife and a fast horses, and he got 2 tickets that were okay. I don't remember what they were. I just said, hey, give them all to Mina. When you can draw 2 cards instead of 1 card, you have the power of selection, and to be able to take that power of selection and apply it through trading, I think it's just really useful. You're making order out of the chaos of the deck.
What this does do, though, it makes Italy a much harder start because Mina is in potential, 2 fast horse moves of Bari, or it's just a little bit nicer. And then Godalming's still in a position he can cover the east. But I agree. I feel in the long run, over many games, you're gonna lose more games with this setup because of your inability to trade, and you might end up with Godalming has lots of good items, they get ditched, or vice versa, and it's just, I feel like for me, Hunter gameplay is about efficiency, not being tricksy about it. So that's just the way I play. But the good thing is that it's not there's no set in stone like you must do it this certain way.
It's far from settled. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know if you saw those. It is on YouTube. That's about your group, but technically it's on YouTube. So I can say it. If you look at Mettking's channel, he recorded Spencer versus Wormtalon from last night, and very surprising, Godalming and Mina were started together, but in Bucharest.
Yeah, I can see that.
Which obviously cuts off the eastern portion of the map. It makes Italy much stronger, and it makes Central Europe much stronger. But the east is then very weak, so it depends on your flavor of Hunter gameplay.
And the thing about doing something like that is, okay, you start them both in 10, you start them in Bucharest. Well, Dracula could just start in 49, wait for you to psychic scan, and then as soon as you move to 11, he heads in, right? But the thing is, it's still kind of incumbent on Dracula to actually pull that little trick off. It's a little bit easier said than done. So for that reason, scanning the east and then moving them to 11 and scanning Austro-Hungaria is really not, I don't think that's really too bad of a play for starting out your first maybe on the
Are they?
4th day or 5th day or something.
Yeah, but you've lost a move though. That's the problem, and like you're losing a day action moving rather than supplying. I feel like supplying is the name of the game here.
Well, yeah, I would tend to agree with you. But if we are discussing alternatives from the
sure.
typical just dig, then I think you could do a lot worse than a little trek from 10 to 11 to scan both those regions and
Yeah,
give yourself
that's true.
just that little peace of mind that Dracula's not especially if you hit a local rumors or an evil presence or something before you right before you leave. It's an anti-Eastern start, so if the East bothers you, maybe do that. That being said, a hired scouts in 50 kind of solves all your problems, as we've
Yeah,
learned.
50, 55, yeah, we saw it in that previous game, yeah, absolutely. Well, it all depends, and then, Quincy's setup has merit too, because, yeah, you can scan either region and could potentially catch Dracula out, but, like, my gut feeling on it all is, like, really, across how many games do you actually do it?
Exactly.
Do you actually catch Dracula? Or Dracula just avoids those regions anyway. Like, Draculas don't normally start in Germany, they don't normally start in Austria-Hungary, so I don't think it really matters. But that's just me, that's just my personal opinion. I do find it kind of still a little bit, not creepy in a way, but just like how funny it was that as soon as I started recording videos, especially during the League of Dracula last year, I was putting out videos and I was doing my setup. Then suddenly, every game I was spectating, everyone else was doing it. I was like, whoa. Like, it's like, what's all this about? Like, Quincy was doing his setup for years, and then suddenly I do it, and then everyone's copying me. It's like, whoa, what's going on here?
It's an effective setup. It is. I haven't been able to really poke too many holes in it that, there's weaknesses, but other things have weaknesses as well, right? So it's a pretty effective start. The only real issue, besides Bari, besides Amsterdam, but these things are typical, right? The real issue is old Van Helsing in England and how weak and puny he is. Because the whole idea is to deter Dracula from starting in England, but what if he just does it anyway? You're in a but do you really? What are you gonna do? You're gonna put Dr. Seward in England instead?
No.
You're gonna put Mina in England. You're not gonna put Godalming in England because that goes against what we were saying about the supply.
I mean, my point earlier was just like, it wasn't, like, I'm obviously very flattered that people are covering my strategy, but especially last year. Now, I think, because, over the last year or so, I think my overall knowledge of the game has just increased to such an extent where I feel more confident being like, right, this is why my setup, I think, has merit over other setups. I feel like a year ago, that wasn't really the case, and I felt, it's just very strange where I saw people copying my strategy, but though I hadn't provided a lot of justification for it. That was the thing. I don't think, unless I'm misremembering, I don't think I was on here ranting and raving about how it was such a great setup and how everyone should use it. In fact, like, most people find the community through Quincy's videos, not through mine, so I just assumed, it'd be, everyone would be using his setup.
Efficiency, like you said. Why spend a day action when you don't have to? Anything else is just experimenting. It's like that. It's like it's your baseline start to just keep people together and trade. Covering Spain from Madrid just makes logical sense.
I mean, I see a lot of Bordeaux starts now.
That's true
by
as
different,
well.
By different people. It's not like the same person. I'm seeing it by different people.
I don't do
Mr.
that.
Green did it last night. Mr. Green did it last night. Who else? There were other people. Oh, Humperdinck did it just now against Piratejoe.
It's a little more. It's a better move for defeating the whole French start, right? Dracula loves to lurk around France.
The Amsterdam start.
Yeah, it's great for defeating that. I don't know. Spain's kind of bad if he gets to start there. I feel like though.
Mettking's playing standard Dracula, not the stuff we've seen from Piratejoe before. You know, Rumor Token, well, Misdirect before it, 2 encounters, and then the wolf form.
Yeah, this is pretty
None of this shenanigans of...
tried and true stuff.
Oh, wow, and he started east. I mean, makes sense, right? Because there's no psychic scan possibility.
Ooh, now has he wolf formed over Lord Godalming?
Oh, or has he wolf formed me backwards to make him think he's done that? Yeah, and he don't even. Well, they've got a newspaper report, so they'll be able to find this rumor token.
Don't be tempted to check 44 or anything like that. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. But I think, we were talking about it in the previous game, in terms of, well, we obviously saw it in the previous game with Dracula, and then, with Hunters, Piratejoe is very much a player. I don't think you'll mind me saying this. He marches to the beat of his own drum. He does, like, standard stuff in terms of, he's not, like, doing night supplies or anything crazy like that, but, he will go with what his gut tells him, and, he has a different playstyle to me. He's more likely to play the slightly more aggressive form of Hunters.
Yeah, I mean, for example, checking Munich there was pretty dangerous when you really think about it, because if he ran into Dracula and Dracula got away as a bat or defeated Mina, that would be really bad.
Yeah, it's a potential that he's already wolf formed over Mina. That's the crazy thing. It could have been from Zagreb, so now he's in 41 or 60. She's on 37, right? So it could have gone to 57. It's going to go down. Who knows? Who knows? I don't really know much about Mettking. I've watched one game with Mettking, and he played a very different strategy to this as Dracula. So clearly is somebody who just likes to mix it up, which is really good. So you can't watch videos and then, assume that they're going to play the same way each time. I'm quite predictable as Dracula, which is not very good.
Here's a classic Piratejoe move now. He's used Long Night.
Yeah?
He's likely going to really make use of that to check for where Dracula wolf formed to.
Because there's a few different options. Well, that or find the rumor token.
That as well.
Wait.
That's right.
Oh wait, he didn't trigger the newspaper reports. What? Did he ditch? No, he didn't ditch newspaper, did he? No, he didn't. Why did he trigger newspaper reports? Oh.
Who has newspapers? Mina?
Mina.
Maybe he's confident that it's in 28. And it's not.
Oh, where he...
Dracula's going to get an event for that.
Oh.
Maybe it won't be one of the bad ones.
Well, it's not a manual Hildesheim, otherwise you would have played it instantly. As somebody who has experience playing a manual Hildesheim.
And
know.
Meet Emanuel Hildesheim's brother, Emanuel Hildesheim. Yeah. Their parents weren't very creative with the names. All right, so Klausenberg, wolf form. Now it looks like he did not go west.
So it is, but what? Oh yeah, he wolf form from Klausenberg.
Yeah, probably 50.
Yeah, he started in Belgrade and he's gone to 50.
Good old 50.
But then he might now be going up to 10 potentially to try and fool him, and he goes around Black Sea. He must be going down towards Ionia.
I'm thinking 55 or 46, probably 46.
Oh, nice use of the roadblock. Here. Yeah, because he can stop. He can't. They won't be able to get to Belgrade now. Or maybe he can go for. Because with fast horse. Has he got fast horses? Good arming. No. Oh, if he doesn't have fast horses, he might be able to block this in completely. Right. This is the one time, Mettking, that you have to zoom in on the map and make sure you click the right stuff.
And his
map now lights up as a massive Christmas tree now.
Thank you to the devs for making that useful feature. It allows us to zoom in on the roads and click on them.
Strider utilizes that zoom in feature a little bit too often, but he's getting out of that habit now.
To each their own, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Some people, it's also useful for people who are maybe a little less familiar with all the adjacencies and all the connections.
Yes, that I certainly agree with. Yes.
Let me zoom in here. Oh, now I see Bari's connected to Naples and Rome, like that kind of thing. But once you have enough experience under your belt, it's all kind of second nature.
I don't want to interfere. He's saying games are common with roadblock tokens. They are very finicky. I don't want to. Okay, now he's getting it. Okay, that's fine. You gotta be. They're just a bit finicky. Like, you
Yeah.
don't see them very often.
I wouldn't offer any technical pointers in the chat because that's probably not
me
fair.
neither. No, I agree.
You wouldn't tell somebody about to wolf form. Remember not to hide.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but this is really nice for him because this vampire is almost likely to mature now, and there's actually a really good use of roadblock, which is an event we consider to be quite weak in this situation because he doesn't appear to have fast horses. The only way he can get around this is if he goes sense of emergency, which I don't think he has.
Don't think that's happening. Yeah, he's guaranteed it. Nice.
This vampire matures. Piratejoe did well though. He didn't bother searching Klausenberg, so Mettking probably a little bit disappointed he didn't ambush there. That is what it is.
Unfortunate though that even with the use of Long Night, Dracula will not only be getting his encounter matured here, he'll also be getting an event card for it.
Say again?
Well, I was going to say because of Long Night, Dracula got an event card, but of course he just used the event card to play the roadblocks. Of course.
No, but it's a perfect use for roadblock.
Yeah, definitely.
And
good one.
He gets his wolf form back from this, right?
Yeah,
so,
good on him.
Yeah, that's a very good use of it. Yeah. There's obviously a long way to go here. We talked about it in the previous game, that 7 points is not the end of the world for the hunters. They've, especially for someone like Piratejoe, he's very experienced in this game, so he's not going to let, a 7-point mature, rattle him too much. Maybe a little bit rattled the fact he gave him a roadblock, which is a little bit unfortunate. But there's 3 of them in the deck, so I mean, it's not an impossibility.
Hey, I mean, look at it this way. It could have been Darkness Returns or Unearthly Swiftness.
But then would you use Darkness Returns to mature a vampire like this so early?
It depends on where Dracula is right now, but probably no, because he's probably getting ready to go to sea. He's far enough away from the hunters. He's not worried about them jumping on him.
But roadblocks though, it's a pretty expendable event. So I think it's okay. What he's done, I think it's kind of nice. Yeah. Good play, and that's the risk of Long Night. You only did 1 move with it, and you gave him the card. Yeah. Don't misclick it. Mature the vampire. Yeah, here is Belgrade. Right, okay. And now the game is on. Let's see how the Huns deal with this one. Especially with double newspaper reports, to then get the mature, there's clearly a lack of horses over here, which is then really good for Dracula. If Dracula realizes this, if they've not got horses, then what else are they packing?
Yeah, they could be really well tooled up, or it could be really poor. Let's check the discard. What we got?
Oh,
of course, I'll have to wait between prompts before I'm allowed to check the discard pile.
Nothing. Well, a couple of rifles.
Yeah, a couple of rifles, ditch, but nothing too
one
crazy.
Stake.
Yeah.
The stake was really early. That's the first fake in the discard. So maybe Godalming has double stake.
I don't look for the good cards in the discard pile, Scots-word. I look for the bad cards in the discard pile. Because if you see many copies of the bad cards, then you know that they likely have the good ones, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's just sort of the way my mind works when I glance over the cards. So I see 3 copies of dogs. I see 2 garlic wreaths. I see a holy circle. Not that the holy circle is necessarily a bad card, but it's not going to damage Dracula. So when I see all those cards in the discard, it tells me that they have knives and holy hosts, maybe some pistols going around.
Yeah, it was just because I saw the stake was the first thing that got put in, because it's in like reverse order. So that would be Godalming ditching it, which means Godalming probably has a stake. He wouldn't ditch a stake if he already had one. So I think that, unless he had another one. So that you can get little subtle bits of information from it, which makes sense because he's going to go and deal with the vampire after moving a long night, but then roadblock, but pay to that. So then there's no fast horses, so you can play around with these two a little bit.
That seems so minor. Like you said, a very subtle bit of information, but that can have a big ramification depending on your decision-making process as Dracula. Yeah, it's Athens again. Why are we all pretending to be surprised?
It's a safe move.
He hid there too.
Yeah, but then you know, if Gadami's got a stake, unless it's, then even if it's bats, he's not going to mature in time. But he's forcing them to deal with it, but they probably would have dealt with it anyway. We've got Salonica to worry about. That could be a vampire. If he goes after the Rumour Token and there's a vampire in Salonica, then that's 4 points. Oh, well, let's say 3.
No, Mina can take care of that. Godalming gets bullied by whatever event cards, but ultimately deals with the encounter in 3. And then the trail's mostly clear at that point. It is clear at that point. Still got Valona to deal with.
Obviously, if he's going to see, then what is Food and Van Helsing going to do? Oh, they're just going to supply all day. As they are fully entitled to, and then they could just get some really nasty things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's not many Dracula events, not like last game, so we have the... Oh, steak. Oh no, bats. Okay.
See, I wouldn't have checked 55. I would have waited to check it on the way back, unless you were really gonna go by sea. It could be Godalming doesn't have horses, right? So if he doesn't have horses, he's planning to leave Athens by sea to chase after Dracula, right?
Yeah.
So he wants to deal with 55 now rather than later.
Who's going to deal with Salonica? If he punts him back to Sarajevo, he's far away from Salonica, and he's 2 spaces away from Athens. Okay, Dracula going to sea, but that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I mean, 55 could have been fog as well, in which case he'd have been fogged out, and then there goes Athens.
Yeah.
Unless Mina wants to take the route from 46 by sea.
Oh, that's so slow, then you have to go through 46, which has an encounter.
Which that's almost like a win for Dracula anyway. Just them having to deal with all that. Oh, we're full of tricks here, Mettking.
This is interesting too. It's a day fight, which isn't too good for Dracula, but it actually now forces the Huns into a situation being: do you deal with the new vampire, or well, I don't know if I like him pushing Gadami into it, because now Mina could walk in, they deal with it together, and then he goes to stake Athens. But would they get to Athens in time?
With a trade of fast horses, you could. She trades her horses to him, or if he trades the stake to her.
Does she have horses?
Oh, I thought she did. Maybe not.
I don't think she does, you know. I don't think I've seen her use it, unless I've missed it.
I agree. Maybe you should have ambushed with the bats and sent him here to fight the vampire at night. And then you maybe get like a claw off. Maybe a claw and a fang,
It's still interesting, because it's forcing these 2 hunters who have clearly got limited movement. How are they going to deal with these 2 things? Do you let the new vampire mature, so it's only 3 points? Okay. If there is a Holy Bullets here, then it won't... Oh, no, Holy Bullets won't kill. No, Holy Bullets won't kill, because he got the fangs off. Oh, no. So it is a stake. It has to be a stake. I mean, it makes sense, based upon the information we saw from the item discard, but you never know. Some hunters just don't like stakes, and...
I can respect that. I don't agree. But I get that. Stakes don't help with any other encounters, whereas your weapons help with the other encounters as well as helping to kill the vampires, right? So they're not as good at it, but they provide advantage.
He's got to try and keep... Mettkin's got to try and keep this vampire alive. He doesn't want this to die, because this is kind of like his... If this vampire easily dies in this combat, then it just makes life so much easier for the hunters.
Yeah, you want this thing to stick around like a bad penny.
Yep. Just slow them down. I don't know how he's going to deal with Van Helsing and Seward. Goodness knows what they've got. Well, that mesmerize is good, because even if he has a knife, I don't think he does. I think he has Heavenly Host. But it means that he can't die from a knife attack now. But he wants to kind of keep this vampire on Even 3 health isn't enough if Mina walks in. They can just team up on it.
I'd fang him.
Yes. Yeah, probably me too. Oh, he's up to 5 health. I mean, that's and then Godami's down to 5. That's arguably more important.
Yeah, I mean, we all talk about how great stakes are. I mean, you know what else is great? When Dracula ambushes you with a reckless vampire and you kill it with a knife and a crucifix and you don't take any damage because you weren't trying to run away like a big scaredy cat. And then you just kind of like laugh in Dracula's face. Now, granted, that's not necessarily as reliable as good old steak, but unless you have a holy circle.
If I've got a knife, I'll risk it and I'll say, right, I'll do 1 round of combat. If I can get the punch in and it hits, then I'll try and stick around a knife. If not, I'll just try to escape and I'll just stake at night. But if you can kill the vampire and you're still holding onto the stake, oh, it's such a huge win.
True. Now, one thing I've noticed, and Wakazik was talking about this. It was a trend in the tournament recently, in a few games here and there, where players have held on to their stakes during a search in hopes that it's an aristocratic vampire and they can keep their stake. Have you noticed this?
Yeah, a little bit. It's all about that double bluff, right?
Yeah, Dracula didn't ambush me. Therefore, I conclude that this rumored vampire must be aristocratic. Therefore, I'll save my stake and just delay myself to kill it. So it's sort of like a new meta kind of thing. Not necessarily the meta, but a strategy that rises that needs to be, answered. The players kind of evolve strategies.
Oh, that's a day ticket, by the way.
Oof.
Oh no, wait, no. Is it a day ticket? No. It is a day ticket.
It is. What's happening?
Oh, he really wants to get that,
Maybe he's fixing up the ticket pool to reach Athens in time.
Maybe. He doesn't have horses, I don't think. Or maybe he does. I don't know if I'd ambush here. I wouldn't ambush. I'd force a night fight out of this. You just know he's gonna. Yeah, I'd do a night fight. I think
I would agree.
That was a misplay.
Because even if the stake is used, you've got the other vampire in Athens.
Exactly.
Now that's
and Mina's now wasted time to get over here. What does Mina have? Let's see. Oh, she's got 2 combat items as well, so maybe she does have horses, but maybe they tried to get the last white one and they couldn't get it, and you didn't want to risk horses.
What do you think, Scot-sword? Would you rather, when you reveal an aristocratic vampire, and would you rather use up your stake and not be delayed the next day, or would you be pleased that you didn't reveal your stake and get to keep it?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, because you have to reveal the stake beforehand, don't you?
Right. Because I hate being delayed the next day by it. I would almost rather just say, right, there's the stake gone. Tomorrow I can supply and get a new weapon and a new event card.
I think a lot depends on the location. If there's another hunter nearby, then I'll let them deal with the next encounter, and I'll do it like in sequence. Like, first hunter deals with first encounter, second hunter deals with the second encounter, and then the first hunter then jumps to the third one. But yeah, just depending on the situation, delays can be horrid, especially if you've if you're down an item, then 2 from something else that happened earlier, you need to resupply.
Because if you're robbed of your stake, it's the equivalent to being robbed of your day action, sort of, minus the event card. Whereas if you're delayed, you are robbed of that entire 1 item card and 1 event that you would have taken.
And I think that's the important thing here. It's not, you're going to have to supply to get the item back, but you're also going to get an event out of it.
Yeah,
and I think the event you could get will outweigh the cost. Oh man, this is so difficult. Then you don't want to use all your stakes, and then you got loads of fighting vampires to deal with later.
So as Dracula, I would say, if you can, put your aristocratic vampires in small cities. That way, whoever deals with it is not easily in position to continue supplying for items in that.
Yes, they're gonna have to move off it.
It should be an aristocrat of a small barony, not a large kingdom.
Oh, the vampire dies here because. But I
Good
mean,
damage.
It is good damage, but at the same time, like, Gadami could just trade the stake to Mina, and then she can go and deal with Athens. So I still don't like this day ambush. It didn't really. It got 4 damage onto Gadami, but it's the fact that the vampire is dead already, not in the night fight.
Plenty of time to deal with Athens now. Plenty of time for Godalming to heal up. Now maybe Dracula's thinking, oh, I could land in the Black Sea here, but you're just a psychic scan away from being foiled.
Yeah, but are they going to psychic scan though? She has to deal with Athens.
Not right now, no. But Dracula hasn't landed yet.
Yeah, but what I mean is, like, by the time that she's dealt with Athens, Dracula could be out of Baltica and into Austria-Hungary.
Yeah, maybe that's what he's counting on.
Oh, there is a horse. Huh.
So if she can just get that stake, did they trade? I missed
they
it.
traded.
Okay,
yeah.
So
she had a knife revealed, so she must have given the knife to Godalming, but that means then she doesn't have a knife. She has Fast Horse's stake and one other thing. Maybe she's just forewarned to deal with the bats, maybe, or a fog or whatever. Yeah, this vampire's not maturing, is it?
It could. The hide card could make the difference, but probably not.
Yeah. Unless there's a forewarned. Yeah, he shouldn't have ambushed with that, because if they did it at night, Mina would have had to be delayed. So then.
Yeah, it should have been delayed the next day.
Trade.
Yeah.
Well, no, at night it should have delayed and lost her night action, but they wouldn't be able to trade then, right? So that's the whole thing with it.
Well, Godalming could have done the trade, right?
No, I'm saying it's like at night, Gadami would initiate the combat.
Oh, right. Yes.
Mina lose her night action,
Correct.
and then they'd have to do a day trade the next day, and that's just horrid. Or they move. But then during a night, look at the damage that Gadami took. He was 2 away from dying. If that's a claws attack, then that's him dead. But that's okay. I mean, he's slowing down the hunters over here, so it's still okay. But Seward and Van Helsing are just.
I think new vampires, especially, if you can, you want to try to get the night fight. New vampires more than any, because they're just beefier. They can tank more hits. They're more of a threat. And unlike the Reckless, they don't really gain anything from an ambush. No.
But here's the problem with this. He's ambushed him, but now she can search it the final night. So, and he's used a fog, and Piratejoe now knows he's fogged down, and he's gonna get his layers up. Oh, he didn't layer Salonica. What? Oh, I think because of the sea movement, he needs to start throwing down layers, unless his hand is just amazing.
Very close though. Look, I mean, he almost matured it for the 7-point win, or even 6 points would win it.
Yeah. I think maybe what you could have done was been super sneaky here and like almost do like a Philly play like last night. Is a few nights ago, if you're watching this later on. He gets him into the night fight. Maybe the vampire doesn't die, maybe it does. But if the vampire doesn't die, maybe you don't mature it anyway and say, oh go on, then you go off to Athens then, and you're both low health, or you've both had to do really awkward trades or whatever. Because if we had to trade during the day, Mina would have still been able to fast horse in, but the fog would have triggered, and she wouldn't be able to search the vampire.
You mean just layer it, yeah, and double down on the rumored one gun.
Oh, this is very interesting. He's not on Cagliari. Oh, has he gone Adriatic wolf form to Munich? Or is he actually gone Black Sea and he's now wolf form to like Klausenburg? Oh.
Well, if he landed in 57, he would have wolf formed past Munich. But I don't like that at all. That puts him in Nuremberg, which is a fast horse away from Dr. Seward, which is the first place I would probably check as Dr. Seward if I could, because that's like kind of the extremity location right now for Dracula.
Yeah.
That
Oh, speaking of which, look at this.
because everybody's in Marseille, he couldn't possibly be in Marseille, right? So that not a good option for Dracula. Zurich looks terrible for Dracula. All these places just look bad for Dracula.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
He checked the Venice location, not Nuremberg. Oh, I would see. That's
Perhaps
what
he's playing the slow and steady wins the race kind of mentality, where he wants confirmation that he's right before he messes something up and gets confused. I've been there.
So that's interesting. See, that's going against what I said at the beginning. He's switching up the style now, which is kind of cool though. Yeah, so this vampire's definitely not going to mature, and then that. Huh? Can't search in fog. Guess I'll die. What?
You can't search when there's a fog.
You can't search in fog. That is just legitimate. You can't search in fog.
Nope.
It's going to disappear now at night.
Yeah.
So you can search it now. That's
probably he'll realize that. Yeah.
Misremembering the rules a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that's really good for Dracula.
Yeah.
On fast horses is stuck in that.
Mettking, sportsman, kind enough to remind Piratejoe he can search this evening.
Yeah. How funny would it be if it's not a vampire?
Oh my god, how shit. Sorry, viewers. Why wouldn't it be though? Why wouldn't it ever be a vampire?
Well, do you maybe ambush with it? If you know there's a stake being traded, do you just ambush with a vampire to try and get a point or two out of it?
Heck yeah. Too late now. But
yeah, of course it's too late. Yeah.
He had it a little backwards, I think. He was ambushing with the wrong vampire. And with the other vampire, he was waiting.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Because it seems to me that Piratejoe's plan was to deal with the new vampire with a 2-on-1 combat and then save the stake for Athens. He thought ahead. He thought well ahead.
That's what I would have done.
And Dracula should have. Dracula didn't realize that, because if he had realized that, he would have said, "Oh, you want a 2-on-1 combat? Fine. Well, that's going to be tonight."
And if
you want to use your stake instead, fine. Have fun in Athens.
Exactly. The only time you'd mature the vampire in Salonika is if the hunters decided not to take that night fight, because they would be able to trade around and be able to get into Athens. Then you'd mature the vampire.
Yeah. Then you'd say, okay, Athens is a lost cause now. They're going to stake it. So let's just take the 3 points.
Exactly, but 3 points in this situation is massive, because it gets them, 1 day within, Fury of Dracula winning, and you add maybe a reckless or 2 on top of it, and then that's,
That's all she wrote.
Yeah.
So he did not send Van Helsing to check 41.
No, he checked Strasbourg, which makes sense too, because Strasbourg is quite a key location. He can get easily up into. Has he got fast horses? On Van Helsing, I don't think he does he? But still, he can.
In
if he's
Germany,
going up towards Hamburg, he can cut across. With a chartered carriage, you might be able to block it.
Got to be careful here, because Dracula can use the connections between the German cities to potentially lose you here. We've seen it happen before. He can say, "Oh, you're not going to check 41, I'll move to 21." And then Van Helsing might check 41 next turn, and then now Dracula's gone to 30. I mean, he can be rather sly here if he wants to be. This is like...
Yeah. Let's see how brave he's feeling. See, a slight misplay in the east, but obviously, this is... I think that, I don't want to blow smoke up our asses here a little bit, but it's just, that's a very kind of like high level thing to realize in terms of like what the Huns are going to do and like who has what item and then what trade could happen. So like we're not criticizing Mettking for that.
Oh yeah, no discredit. Even honestly, in the time I might have messed up and gone ahead and not matured the one in 46, and then they would have gone to Athens and killed that. That's probably an error I might have made, thinking, oh, they'll have to go to Athens now and deal with that one. And you forgo all of your points. It's easy to see it when you're just watching.
He played well. Got the right now. Here comes the aggressive Piratejoe that we all know.
It was Nuremberg, as we thought.
So, handbook. Ooh, this is very... Oh, this could spell disaster.
Heat-seeking elderly missile aimed straight at Dracula.
Oh, he's down to 4 health. Oh, man. Oh, never stake in the discard pile. Now, Heroic Leap would not be handy here because Van Helsing would die from it. You'd give up 4 points for it. Yeah, nice Sagani mob.
You might be about to give up 4 points anyway.
Oh, nice. Oh, because he discards that. That's very clever. Yeah, get rid of 1 item for for mob, and then you get it right back again with lucky find. That's nice. I like that.
Well played. Yeah. Eking out those tiny little advantages is what it's all about.
Yeah, and he discarded a weapon, and now we don't know. Oh, does he have holy bullets? He doesn't have a stake, surely, unless he picked up the last horse.
If Dracula claws right now and we see a holy bullets, I would just love it. This would be such a game.
I can just play safe as Dracula. Just
strength. That's what I would do, because he's an old man. You can just strength him to death.
Yeah.
Unless he gets away.
I mean, good dodge. And if Dracula's only got that 1 strength, he doesn't get the second one. This could. Yeah. Even if he fangs him and he's played like a rifle holy bullet, then that's. I mean, he might have discarded holy bullets because we can't see the item discard pile, so we don't know.
Dracula would take 4 damage right before going to sea.
Yeah.
Or 3.
Yep, or even more damage. Yep. Oh.
Here's the pistol.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, has he actually got holy bullets?
He has just the gun, right? Or does he have the gun?
No, he's got something else.
Yeah.
The problem with Mesmerize, don't worry about Mesmerize is a good play there. I'm not saying Mettking misplayed. It's a good play to play Mesmerize. It stops the attack. But the thing is now, if you want to kill Van Helsing, he can only do it through claws or, he can't fang him now because then he just gets bitten. But then maybe bites what he wants. He gets a point from it. He gets health. Nice strength.
Oh,
he's going to dodge again.
Right. In a sense, it actually makes things a little easier for Van Helsing because he kind of knows what Dracula really wants right now. It isn't to suck his blood. So it kind of narrows Dracula's options. But like you said, perhaps Dracula will just settle for that, and you'll find yourself fanged. Dracula's got 2 more health.
Yeah.
Can't underestimate the value of that 2 health.
If I was Van Helsing and he gets out of this, and the worst case scenario is he takes a bite, well. Oh, but maybe he's baiting him into it. Oh no, he's baiting. No, but he doesn't take the damage. He only takes the bite. So he's on 4 health. He's on. He's not going to die from bites because it's Van Helsing. So, no, point to point. There's only 2 encounters on the trail. So he's probably going to do a Nuremberg today. So if he goes to the sea.
That was smart on Van Helsing's part, because even if Van Helsing had played a knife, if Dracula had played claws, that would have been disaster. So I think that's a safe move. Just throw out your gun and dodge, and throw out your gun and dodge.
Oh, interesting. Do you see what he did there? He didn't delay Seward.
Oh, he uncovered the vampire, but chose to just leave it there in its coffin.
Yes.
It's like, I don't have time for this crap.
At least not on Seward, because if he goes to the UK, Seward's the one who's like furthest forward. He can get.
He's the one who's in position. Yeah, Godalming could catch up, deal with it, something like that.
Didn't have enough time. No, he doesn't have quite
I
enough time.
keep forgetting Godalming hasn't got his travel arrangements sorted out.
No. Maybe he might send Van Helsing back to deal with it and send Mina and Seward across, but then fast forces are less relevant in the UK.
Right? Or...
No.
No, because not without a chartered carriage.
Or a sense of emergency. Yeah, no problem, Mettking. You have every right to think. If you make one false move, you could just die instantly. So yeah, I think you have every right to. But he's on 12 health. He got 2 health back from that. No Rufus Smith, so he could do some shenanigans.
Oh, I see. He's trying to decide if he's gonna feed and try to kill Van Helsing, or if he's gonna leave.
Oh,
that's what he's deciding.
But the fact that Suit's not delayed, you can't.
It would have occurred to us earlier, except that it seems like madness. I think that's really what he's trying to decide. Because what else is he going to do? He's going to go to sea or he's going to feed. What else can he do? Nothing.
It's a 5 health Van Helsing. You're not going to kill him.
He's not going to move to 16.
No. He hasn't got wolf form. So, like, wolf form out of here isn't a possibility. Even though it's not a very good wolf form anyway.
Even if he moved to 7 or 16, I mean, you've got people there to fan out and start going to those places.
Yeah. I hope he's realized, that Seward didn't actually delay himself there.
Yeah. Fortunately, the icons on the left side of the screen with the portraits will tell you. Yeah, it'll show a little symbol if he's delayed, which is a very nice little touch by the developers.
That's very true. Yes.
In the same vein, it'll show you if they have a bite token.
Yeah. So that's very nice. I get it. He's thinking. And he's also trying to think, if he does go to sea, he's probably thinking already ahead, like, how many sea moves does he make? Do you try to land in the UK? But if there's CG, then
he's trying
he doesn't die, he would be really restricted.
He's trying to formulate a strategy about how many days of sea travel are going to be necessary before Fury of Dracula kicks in, and how much health does he have? What can he afford? What kind of risk can he afford to take here?
Well, that's actually true. He only has to make 2 moves to win, so I guess you could do... how long? Well, this is Monday, going into the sea, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday. He could go all the way around to Ionian and then land, and then try to hide, but then if there's a consecrated ground comes out, then he's kind of screwed if you're on such low health.
You know what I rather like here? Scot-sword would be, you go from North Sea, go through the Channel into the North Atlantic, go to the South Atlantic, wolf form anywhere you like in Spain, like maybe 12 or maybe even Madrid.
And then if there's a problem, you get to the Mediterranean.
Well, you bluff them into thinking that you're already in the Mediterranean and that you've just gone to Cagliari, or you're trying to do something in Italy maybe with 25, or maybe you've gone to Zurich or something. Well, by then you're hoping that the hunters have moved significantly, right? And
so
then maybe
you're taking a leaf out of Piratejoe, out of Peter Wizard's book then.
Is that a move he's done?
He did it where, that was the game between Peter Wizard and Piratejoe where, spoiler alert people, sorry, Peter Wizard went, I thought he was in Tyrrhenian and he wolf formed, but because of the way he did his sea move, he went via English Channel, so he was actually in Mediterranean.
Yep. I did that to you in a game one time, a similar move where by going through the Channel I had threatened a wolf form from the Mediterranean, but I was actually in the North Sea. But you caught me with consecrated ground.
Oh, right, in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you even mentioned, you're like, oh, you took the extra sea damage on the off chance that I would think it was Mediterranean. I said, exactly.
And then he got hide scouts when he didn't want it.
Yeah.
That's the first one, though, so there might be others. And this has been played at quite a pace, by the way. I checked the recording. It's less than 50 minutes already, and we're already, we're in 3rd week territory now.
Piratejoe's saying, you think this is all I got on my plate today?
Why did he move Seward to Hamburg? Is he thinking it's the UK and he's just going to X and weather immediately across? I guess he's threatening it. Maybe Mina's gonna just do Nuremberg. Then who's gonna do? Well, I guess it'll be Van Helsing. We're back, and also he gets more healing on Van Helsing, which is not a bad move either. He's up to 7 now, so that's just perfect.
Doc will fix him right up. Yeah.
I said that in another video. It might be better, a little balancing thing for Seward. Instead of him being able to heal himself and anybody else in his city too, why don't you make it that Seward can either, if he heals, he can either choose to heal himself or heal an ally. So the allies, or his, the character, the other hunter in his space, they're still healing twice as fast, but then not on their turn. If that makes sense. So the healing damage.
Seward has to help expend an action as well. So that would be like a nerf to Seward if I'm.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think he needs it.
You think?
I think it's just a little bit too.
Yeah.
That the hunter on his space heals 2 and Seward heals 2. That's just a little bit too.
That's interesting that you point that out, because he is sort of a little too obviously the best one. Like, it makes sense that one of them would be the best one and that one of them would be the worst one. But the power gap's kind of there.
You can hold 4 items, 4 events, and you can heal double. And the other... Night Supply.
I would argue that maybe Godalming is a bit better early on, before Seward has the chance to mill through all the correct cards and get the right hand going, to be a threat. Sorry, I missed it.
He 2 Night Supplies. Piratejoe's done all game, and he's given him 2 Dracula.
Why? Why would he Night Supply?
I guess he's desperate for the final horse, I think.
I don't understand, though. He's not even in a losing situation. He's scared that he's not going to pick up where Dracula went to. But if you just waited till tomorrow and supplied during the day, you could get... I don't know. Well, maybe.
I get. Maybe he saw the Dracula event on top, maybe.
Yeah.
And he hedged his bet for a Dracula event wasn't on the bottom. The fact he'd already done a supply.
I mean,
it was something. It was something that Dracula could play immediately, but he was able to also save it. So I don't know what it is. Could be hidden schemes. Could be another roadblock. Could be summon storms.
Interesting.
He's made 2. No wolf form, but he can't wolf form because wolf form's on the trail.
Not much obfuscation here at all.
Well,
with the exception of 32, 52, 18. Okay, that. All right, let's just discuss for the good people. Where's Dracula? Right, so he could have gone to the North Atlantic and landed in 39 or 8. That's crazy talk. Yep. He could have gone to the Irish Sea and landed in 18, but that would be kind of crazy because he would need to get back to the North Atlantic eventually, and I don't think it would follow the trail.
No, he would have gone North Sea, North Atlantic. It's in Galway.
You're right. Yeah, he only moved 2 sea spaces. You're right.
He could be in.
So he could be in Galway. He could also be in London, Le Havre, 43.
I reckon he's in Bordeaux.
I rather like it because the trip from East Germany down to France like that's a 2-day trip.
Yeah, but Seward's the only one who's threatening. But if you do it in a certain way, he's gonna scan. That's a good use of a scan.
Very good scan. Because Dracula's hoping, all right, maybe I can get to 54 and then 4, right? Something like that, and then you're scot-free. Yeah. Maybe sneak a feed in.
If he's able to do it, he might be able to get to Marseille and maybe then wolf form away from Marseille. I know Godalming is close to here, but it's just Godalming. He might be able to see it out. It's Thursday, 3rd week, by the way. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, never mind, you just played Hypnosis.
Even better! I mean, with this timing, it might be the right time. He's just finished his sea journey.
Well, the good thing with this, though, is because he's played it now, because Mina's the last... If he had Speedy Telegraph, it would be much better, because they can't play Consecrated Ground now, so Dracula can play safe moves. And North Atlantic's open.
No, Scot-sword, this is an example of what you've said before about a psychic bond would have sufficed just fine without a hypnosis. There's no reason
Correct.
to delay Mina, because there are only 2 possible continents Dracula could have been in: Britannica
Yep.
and France. If Wakazik were here right now, he would be tearing his hair out, I'm sure of it.
Well, he could. Oh no, that's true. Yeah, it's only 2. That's
He
possible.
would say,
And
if
the
you
good thing-
scan France, he's not in France, you know he's in Britannica.
Exactly. And the thing is now, like, the threat of CG is gone, because if Mettking plays this smart, he'll just go to the Irish Sea coast, because North Atlantic's off the trail. It's not there, he went North Sea English Channel, so now if the hunters really threaten him, he can just escape to the Irish Sea and North Atlantic, and then it's 4th week, and then they can't catch him. This is a gnarly situation to be in for hunters.
Wait, why were you so sure he's in the mainland England and not Ireland?
He could be in Ireland, but it's just better that he was in London.
Oh, okay. I thought you had figured something out that I hadn't.
I know, no. I have no reason to suspect. He could have gone into Ireland.
Right.
But it'd be much safer if he went via London.
The thing is, if he did go to Ireland, you can ignore it because it's not going to mature in time to help him. You can just go straight for drag.
Oh, I thought he was going to land in Edinburgh. What is going on here? Unless Seward has excellent weather, but I don't like that move.
You're right. The move here is to assume he's gone to England and play like he's gone to England and deal with it that way. Because if he has gone to Ireland, where's he going to go? He's got to go to England, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
He has no choice. He's got to land there.
Absolutely.
Can't.
So what you can do
because you can't misdirect a C zone, because this isn't 3rd edition Fury of Dracula. Sorry. I still have nightmares.
Imagine if he has Summon Storms right now. He moves to Liverpool and he plays Summon Storms.
Hell, I played a game where the whole reason I went to UK was because I got Summon Storms. That could be exactly what he's thinking.
Oh, look at that. He got a Desecrated Soil Mature as well. Holy moly. Oh, this is huge for Dracula. Right, Dracula's just going to play this really just safe. And just... If he has to leave the UK, just leave the UK. It's fine. Because now, if he leaves the UK today, North Atlantic Sunday, he can then just wolf from wherever he wants, and then make one more move and he's done. Don't take any stupid risks here. Don't panic. Just... Oh, there's no excellent weather. Oh, that's just amazing for him. But there could be a Renewed Vigor still, and that could... If he stays and tries to be a little bit greedy... he isn't in the UK. Okay, so he's gone for the safe move, and that's... Renewed Vigor could be his downfall still, but... It doesn't seem like hunters have it. Mina's could be landing with 1 item fewer. Oof. What do you do as Dracula here? Do you hide, or do you just leave?
How much health has he got? 12? I mean,
12.
Even sneak a feed in.
Oh, I don't know. I think I don't know. Or just hide with fog.
I mean, have we seen an excellent weather?
One. Van Helsing used it to get from Hamburg over to North Atlantic.
Well, it's a feat. It's a feat. So, okay, worst case scenario is...
1 hunter.
Renewed Vigor. No, Renewed Vigor gets played.
2
Seward lands, catches Dracula in 52 or 43. No, 52.
Or 32. And then Van Helsing has a second excellent weather, he goes to Dublin, then he moves across.
But we've seen an excellent weather already. Right. The other one, yeah.
He could have another one.
Or Mina, potentially.
It's unlikely, yeah. Oh, that's true, yeah. So it could be it was a 2v1.
But there's no Renewed Vigor, so
no,
it's not happening
perfect.
This time,
no.
And this is great for Dracula because this London vampire is going to have to be dealt with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is terrible for the hunters right now.
You could even, if you wanted to, you could go Irish Sea and then just wolf them to Galway and they can't stop it. Even if they have consecrated ground, yeah, they're going to force him off Ireland, so he takes 2 damage into North Atlantic.
But then Van Helsing could step onto you.
Oh. Yeah, but is he really scared about it? He has a surprising return. That's all he has.
I mean,
No,
if he
no
if
heroic
he
lead.
goes to sea, he'll be at 13. If he wolf forms, he'll be at 12. Can Van Helsing deal 12 damage to Dracula? No. No.
No, he's playing the safe move. That's okay. He's giving up a little bit of IDS just to make sure this happens.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
get the heck out of there. He doesn't really have any good places to move to anyway.
And he's still got a Dracula card, by the way.
Yeah.
I wonder what it is.
Hit the North Atlantic, wolf form, move one more time, and you're home free.
Yeah. He still has to make 2 moves. But obviously, if this vampire matures, then he has to make 1. Oh right, he's gonna. Yeah. I think this is curtains for the hunters. Yeah, this just. Well, you still don't know what sea zone he's in. Oh wait, hang on. Could this work? Could you be in North Sea with the timing? No, we can't be in North Sea. That's impossible.
Nope.
No, because yeah, so he definitely left from Liverpool. So he's in Irish Sea now. Okay, Van Helsing blocking. That makes sense. Maybe you're right. Maybe just go to North Atlantic and then. Do you just land? Oh, I don't know. Imagine they have Gadaming and Mina jump on you. You just somehow die from it. He's got Wolf Form available, so if he needs to take an extra damage to guarantee things, just take an extra damage. Very astute gameplay from Mettking. He only hasn't won it yet, but
Still a chance.
oh yeah, oh definitely.
Still a chance. If Dracula goes to North Atlantic here and then decides to wolf form, I mean, you could catch him in France or in 47 with a 2-on-1. It's a long shot, but it can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if there's a renewed vigor, you can just get it. And there's the fact that full ward just got used on Seward, so.
He's gonna play it somewhat safer and give up the IDS for some sea obfuscation, which is probably the smart play. Because if you wolf,
obviously they have to.
You wolf form now, it's not game over. Yeah.
No. Oh, there's renewed vigor.
Oh, but Dracula's at sea.
Yeah, I guess he's doing it to stop the vampire. He thinks he can catch Dracula the next day, right?
Yeah.
He has to stop this vampire, otherwise Dracula just wins now.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, he could move to North Sea now, right? He could go anywhere he wants.
Yeah, this coming turn, it's going to be North Sea, land in
or South Atlantic.
27, or South Atlantic land in 12, and those are pretty far apart.
I wouldn't ambush. Yeah, that's the correct play. Don't ambush. Oh, it's not even a vampire. Oh, that's.
Oof.
He's gonna get health back. So this is great. He's making sea moves, and he's just gonna heal.
And if Dracula had no.
Oh no.
If Dracula had no vampire, that's an example of a great false rumor token.
Absolutely. And he weighs a full 1 on a bats for it as well.
That's how you do it properly.
Yeah. But then again, he hasn't healed because Seward revealed the Heavenly Host. It's not that good, but yeah, as you said, it was a fake rumor token, which is still really good for him. So he's got to make 2 moves, but the fact that he's used 1 renewed vigor, that's really important. Might have a second one. Is that another newspaper? No, surely not. Yeah, he has another newspaper report. He got all 3 of them.
See, if you look at the face of the sun there, you see the despair tokens. They form a really angry, mean face.
They do.
That's Roscoe when he's in this situation as the hunters. Yeah. That's actually what he looks like.
Is this a wolf form or a sea move?
The further along the despair track gets, the more pissed off you get, and the more you look like that guy.
Yeah, and then after, when we play our match, especially the tournament, if it's a match like that, I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to give you about an hour before I message you.
It's just still a little raw.
Yeah. Oh, another roadblock. The tale of 2 roadblocks. Wait, why is he... No. What are these roadblocks all about? Sure, you just wolf form into Spain and you just block it all up. or maybe not. Or maybe it's a complete bluff.
Okay, so he did wolf form from North Atlantic. Wow.
Renewed vigor? Oh, no renewed vigor.
Unfortunate.
But he could catch. Oh, but there's a few places. There's Le Havre, there's Paris, Clermont-Ferrand, Toulouse, Santander. But he could get it right, especially if he's got speedy telegraph. He can do.
If he were smart, he'd
Two
just
supplies.
he'd have wolf formed to Dublin, because he put up a roadblock, so Van Helsing can't mess with it. So if you wolf formed to Dublin, you put up that roadblock, then tomorrow you just move on to Van Helsing for a game.
Or hide. Yeah.
Or hide. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you've got any sense of style, you move on to Van Helsing. But yeah, I mean, he would need a good luck to even begin to move over there. And doesn't that cost an action?
It doesn't.
It does not. Right.
It does not. But because of the there it is. Oh, but is it a bluff? Has he actually wolf formed to something like
it looks like Piratejoe made the same assessment as myself, though. Because he removed the Irish roadblock.
But then, I wouldn't have done that first. Oh, it depends on who was playing it. I would supply with Seward first. You might get a hired scout. Search Dublin. If it is Dublin, then you use the good luck.
Yes. Because Seward can't do anything else. He can't help other
Again, I'm not going to answer this, but good luck is not. It's not play as an action. It's just play during day. It's not an action. So no, I can't unless it's out to sea.
Maybe.
What?
He can't move for some reason.
He can't move to Dublin. What is going on with this game?
Bug, possibly? Does the game still think the roadblock is there? Has it eaten up its action in some way? I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Huh.
That's very strange, though. If
that's
strange. True, then that's really unfair to Piratejoe, because if he wanted to move Van Helsing to 18, he would still get to fight Dracula.
Yeah, and he could, even if he still lost, he'd be able to take down quite a lot of ideas.
Yes, he could give him some damage at the very least.
That's so weird. Also, we can't see Piratejoe's perspective, so it's really awkward. We're going to have to. How on earth are we going to playtest it?
Yeah, you'll have to maybe question him a little bit afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, now he says he can move. Maybe he switched hunter portraits and then switched back, and that might have fixed it. Right?
Oh, well, that's GG.
That's
well played. Yeah, because he had no forewarned, right? Because he's got a surprising return. That also didn't matter in the end. Interesting.
Well played to Dracula.
Absolutely, yeah, good game. And a very quick one, too. There's only just over an hour, so they played at a heck of a pace. I think they even didn't one of them have to go away for like 2 minutes. Yeah, well played. Very astute gameplay there from Mettking. Yeah, a little bit of a, we were talking about the whole thing in Salonika and Athens and stuff, but in the end he got the win anyway. So it didn't cost him.
Nope. It almost paid off for him. It was only the difference of a day. If it wasn't for like 1 day difference, they'd have had matured Athens.
Yikes! It took until late week 2 to get all 3 white ones.
That's a real downer.
Oh, that's a rough one, that is.
Even with
which makes sense because you saw him
day ticketing.
Yeah, we saw him doing day tickets. Yeah. Yeah, the Tale of Two roadblocks. Finally, we had the Tale of Two Emmanuel Hildesheens, and then we've had the Tale of Two roadblocks. And roadblocks is a card that is normally considered to be incredibly weak. And it's just funny how in this instance, it has worked out really, really well.
Right place and right time, and the beauty of the roadblock is that you can hang on to it and play it at the right place and the right time.
Absolutely. Yeah, the only way this would work would be if he managed to get another renewed vigor, trade a forewarned onto Van Helsing. Even then, what's his health situation? Dracula has how much health? 11, I think, right?
Maybe he'll fight Van Helsing anyway, just for the kill and some yucks.
Now he's getting Hunter events at the bottom. It's just, just one. Yeah, Vampire Lair would have really could have spelled curtains here, because he would have actually needed another move.
Yeah, you're wow. I never thought about that. Using Vampire Lair like that to just throw a huge monkey wrench in Dracula's plans, and then he errors himself because of that. That would be mental.
Oh well.
Can you imagine if he erred because of that?
Allied it.
That's one great wolf.
Well, fair enough, Mettking. That was a good game. Piratejoe played his part in it too, of course. And
Better luck next time.
yeah, that's been a rough day for Piratejoe. That's 2 defeats. So that's gonna cause issues for him later on. 'Cause obviously, that's him now. Has he played 4 matches? Let me check the shenanigans with the fixtures. Yeah, No. Oh, he played 1 match early, didn't he? Against Ariel. Yeah, he played it early. So yeah, he's played now 4 matches, and he's 1 in 3. So qualification out of the group is now looking very shaky. Very shaky. Yeah, well played to Mettking. But it goes to show, really, like Piratejoe is not a player to be messed with. He came 3rd in the League of Dracula last year, I think.
Don't underestimate him.
No, absolutely not. And but yeah, just didn't get the run of it today. But
And we got
yeah,
some new blood rising as well.
Well, that's the thing. Like the standard of this competition is just really, really impressive. I'm really impressed with everybody. And it's just now, you got these newcomers coming in, really taking it on. I wouldn't like to be competing in this competition. It'd be really hard against some of these players.
Yeah, I've been watching some matches and saying to myself, I am glad I'm not in that group. I don't want those nasty tricks pulled on me and things like that. So some very high level play going on.
You say that, but at the beginning when I looked, I was like, oh well, I thought it's going to be Group D, but like Group C is now, after the whole thing with JB Philly and Mr. Green last night. There's a live stream of it, folks, if you want to check it out on my channel. And then now Group B looks ridiculously close between everybody. Peterswood's got a little bit of a lead, but it looks very close between Mettking and Humperdinck, and Piratejoe can't rule him out at all. Ariel's got experience, and then you got your group as well, which is not going to be straightforward either. Like none of the groups are looking very easy.
No,
that just shows
not at all.
How good the competition is.
Yeah, we're stacked up with strong players. I like it. It makes for great spectating.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're going to get a good game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Fury of Dracula season is really hot. There's lots of good viewing to enjoy, lots of good discussion to be had. Definitely really enjoyable stuff.
You do wonder maybe if Piratejoe taking a little break between the 2 games, if that made a difference or not. I don't know. Some players can play back to back. If it's a tournament game, I probably wouldn't do it. But other players can, and that's.
I find it mentally exhausting. I am a simpleton. I can't handle back-to-back games. They all start blurring together in my mind. I'm like, oh, what did Godalming have again? Do you have a rifle? Oh no, wait, that was last game.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I need a break. I need to disconnect for at least half an hour between. If it's friendly games, I don't care. Yeah, absolutely. Oh well, it was really good to catch this game though. We didn't think we were going to do it because of time differences. It was scheduled for much later on, but thank you, Gyro, for joining. It's been
my
really
pleasure.
Fun it's been a very long time since you've been on the channel, so I think for the viewers not so much because a lot of those games got put up over the summer, but for us we recorded them back in January.
Right.
So
yeah, good to be back. Good to be keeping up with you and chatting with you. It's really good stuff. It's a good game.
Yeah, and thank you everybody for watching. There'll be more videos coming out during the whole of the tournament. October's going to be a bit quieter for me, but for the rest of this month you can expect plenty of games. And I'll just see you in the next episode very soon. Take care. Bye bye.